Madrid, San Miguel Bakery. One afternoon in December. The snow falls softly while the aroma of fresh bread fills the air. Carmen Lopez, 34, a single mother, desperately counts the coins in her purse in front of the counter. Beside her, the 8-year-old twins Lucia and Alba look at her with their innocent eyes. "Mom, I'm hungry," Lucia whispered, tightening her wool scarf. Carmen only has 3 with 50 times. "The bread costs $4. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't give discounts," says the baker sheepishly. Just as Carmen is about to leave empty-handed, an elegant man in a camel coat approaches the counter. Alejandro Herrera, son of a 5 billion empire. Observe the scene, and what you do next will change 4 lives forever. But this is not your typical story of the rich man helping the poor man. This is the story of how a brave mother saved the soul of a lost millionaire. Carmen Lopez stares at her almost empty purse while her twin daughters watch her in silence. She has worked all day as a cleaning woman in 3 different offices, but the money is never enough. December's bills have depleted his savings, and now he can't even afford bread for dinner. "Ma'am, is there anything I can do to help you?" asks sweetly Mr. Martinez the baker, who knows Carmen's situation. "No thanks. I'll be back tomorrow," Carmen replies with dignity, taking Lucia and Alba by the hand to leave. At that moment, Alejandro Herrera enters the bakery. At 42, he is the richest man in central Spain, owner of a chain of luxury hotels. She's wearing a coat that costs more than Carmen earns in 6 months, but her eyes seem empty, lacking the joy that should accompany such success. Alejandro noticed the scene from the window of his Mercedes parked outside. Something in that mother's dignified expression has deeply affected him. As Carmen heads towards the door, he approaches the counter. "I would like to pay for what the lady has bought," he says quietly to the baker. "Sir, she didn't buy anything. She didn't have enough money," Martinez explains, embarrassed. Alejandro looks at Carmen, who is out with the girls. "So, prepare a package with fresh bread, some sweets, and whatever else you think a family might need, and I'll take it." Martinez quickly prepares a bag full of products. Alejandro leaves and catches up with Carmen on Nevada Street. "Excuse me, ma'am. This has been forgotten," he says, offering her the bag. Carmen looks at him confused. "I'm sorry, but I didn't buy anything. So it's an early Christmas present." Alejandro replies with a genuine smile he hadn't worn in years. Lucia and Alba look at the elegant man with curiosity mixed with gratitude, while Carmen feels tears welling up in her eyes. Carmen hesitates to take the bag, her dignity at odds with her daughter's need. Alejandro senses her embarrassment and kneels down to be at the twins' level. "What are your names?" he asks the girls gently. "I'm Lucia, and this is Alva," the more outgoing of the 2 replies. "Mom says we're special because we were born together." Alejandro smiles genuinely for the first time in months. "You have a very brave mom. And you know what? I also have a twin sister. Her name is Patricia." This little white lie serves to create a connection, to make the girls feel less alone. Carmen observes the interaction, and something in this man's gentle manner convinces her to accept his help. "Thank you," she whispers, taking the bag. "I don't know how to repay this kindness." "You don't have to pay anything back. But if it's not too indiscreet, may I ask where you live?" Carmen points to a social housing building across the street. "Second floor, small but cozy apartment. The girls share a room, and I sleep on the living room sofa." Alejandro nods without judgment. In his privileged life, he had never imagined that anyone could live like this. Yet these 3 women seem to possess a happiness that he completely lacks. "Do you work?" he asks gently. 3 jobs, Carmen replies proudly. "I clean offices early in the morning. I assist an elderly lady in the afternoon, and at night I wash dishes at a restaurant after the girls are asleep." Alejandro is struck by the determination of this woman and the girl's father. Carmen's face falls. He left when he found out she was pregnant with twins. He said he wasn't ready for so much responsibility. Lucia takes her mother's hand. "But we're okay like this, right, Mom? We're a team." Carmen smiles and nods. But Alejandro sees the weariness in her eyes, the burden of carrying her. All alone. Listen, he says suddenly. I'm about to open a new hotel here in Madrid. I need someone to take care of the housekeeping. Someone trustworthy. Carmen looks at Alejandro with surprise and suspicion. In her experience, when things seem too good to be true, they usually are. Sir, I appreciate your generosity, but I don't even know you. And honestly, I don't understand why a man of your obvious wealth should be interested in the problems of a stranger. Alejandro realizes how the situation must look. A wealthy man offering a job to a single woman with young daughters could be interpreted in many wrong ways. She's right to be cautious, he admits. My name is Alejandro Herrera. I can show you my documents and give you all the references you want. The proposal is serious and completely legitimate. He takes out his wallet and shows her his ID. Carmen recognizes the name. Herrera Hotels. It's a well-known chain throughout Spain. The new hotel will open in January. Alejandro continues. I need a housekeeping manager to coordinate cleaning, supervise room service, ensure that everything runs perfectly. It's a job that requires organization, reliability, and attention to detail. And you think I have those qualities based on 5 minutes of conversation? I think a woman who manages to raise 2 girls alone, working 3 jobs and maintaining her dignity even when she can't afford bread, has exactly the qualities I'm looking for. Lucia and Alba listen to the conversation with wide eyes. The idea of not having to see their mother anymore, always tired and worried, excites them. How much would you pay? Carmen asks hesitantly. $3,000 a month, plus hotel accommodation for you and the girls, plus health insurance and paid vacation. Carmen almost faints. That's more than she earns in 6 months with her 3 jobs. There's a catch, isn't there? Nobody pays that much for so little. Alejandro looks her in the eye. The only catch is that I need someone I can trust completely, and something tells me you're that person. The snow continues to fall as Carmen makes the decision that will change their lives. 2 weeks later, Carmen and the twins move into a suite at the hotel. Herrera Madrid, a renovated 17th century palace in the heart of the city. The girls can't believe their eyes. Their new home has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a breathtaking view of the Retiro Park. Mom, it's like being princesses, Alba exclaims, jumping on the king-size bed. Carmen explores her new office on the ground floor, a bright and modern space from which she will coordinate a team of 20 people. Alejandro has provided her with everything she needs. Computers, phones, staff uniforms, and above all, the confidence to manage a major operation. The first day of work is intimidating. Carmen finds herself managing situations she has never faced before. VIP guests, private competitions, late deliveries from suppliers, staff who need training. But her experience as a single mother, accustomed to solving 1,000 problems simultaneously, proves invaluable. Alejandro watches from afar as Carmen transforms the chaos of the opening into a smooth and efficient operation. He sees her motivate the staff with gentleness but firmness, solve problems creatively, and always maintain a smile, even under pressure. How's it going? He asks her one evening, finding her still in the office. 9. Better than I expected, replies Carmen, tired but satisfied. The team is learning quickly, and the first guests arrive tomorrow. The girls are doing their homework in the suite. They've already explored the entire hotel and made friends with the chef, who's teaching them how to bake cookies. Alejandro smiles. They seem to have settled in well. Too well, I'd say. Yesterday, Lucia asked me if we're rich now. Carmen laughs. I explained that we're lucky, but that we should always remember where we came from. That answer impacts Alejandro more than Carmen can imagine. He forgot his roots long ago, lost in the privileges and luxury he's always taken for granted. Are you enjoying this story? Leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Now let's continue with the video. After a month, the Hotel Herrera Madrid is already considered one of the best in the city. Online reviews praise not only the luxury and location but especially the impeccable service and the family atmosphere that Carmen has managed to create. Alejandro starts spending more time at the hotel officially to oversee operations, but really because he feels strangely at home. He often dines at the on-site restaurant, and Lucia and Alba have made it a habit to greet him whenever they see him. "Mr. Alejandro," Lucia shouts, running up to him one evening. "Mom says tomorrow is your birthday." Alejandro stops, surprised. He had completely forgotten his birthday. In recent years, he had always celebrated it with business dinners or meaningless social events. "That's true," he admits. "But I haven't planned anything special." "But birthdays are important," Alba protests. "Mom says they're a day to give thanks for being born." Carmen comes running up behind the girls. "Excuse me if they're bothering you, Mrs. Herrera." "Alejandro, please." "And they're not bothering me at all. So, how about we cook something special for Alejandro's birthday?" Carmen suggests to the girls, who clap enthusiastically. Alejandro is about to protest that it's unnecessary, but something in the girls' excitement stops him. He can't remember the last time anyone really cared about his birthday. The following evening, Carmen and the twin sisters prepare dinner in the suite. Homemade pasta, tiramisu, and a cake decorated by the girls with adorably imperfect precision. "You didn't have to go to any trouble," Alejandro says, moved, when he sees the table set. "It's no trouble at all," Carmen replies. "This is how you thank the people who change your life." During dinner, Alejandro recounts his lonely childhood in Swiss boarding schools, his parents always absent due to work, and his sister who only sees Christmas. The girls listen, fascinated, unable to imagine a life without daily hugs and family laughter. "That's why you're always sad," Lucia says with the wisdom of an 8-year-old. "You don't have a family to pamper you." Alejandro feels his eyes well up with tears. That little girl has understood in one sentence what his therapists hadn't been able to identify in years. Everything seems to be going perfectly until, 3 months after the opening, Alejandro receives a call that changes everything. The board of directors of his holding company has discovered how much he's spending on the Madrid hotel, and they're not happy. "Alejandro, we're losing money," the chairman of the board says during the call. A video conference. "The salaries are too high, the standards too expensive. You have to cut at least 40% of operating costs." Alejandro looks out his office window and sees Carmen coordinating the check-in of a group of Japanese tourists. He sees her smile, resolve a problem with their luggage, make sure they feel welcome. "And if instead of cutting we focused on quality, the reviews are excellent. Occupancy is at 95%. The numbers don't lie. Either you make the cuts or we send someone else to manage the hotel." That night, Alejandro faces an impossible decision. He can lay off half the staff, including Carmen, and transform the hotel into a cost-cutting but impersonal operation. Or he can risk his position in the company to protect the people who have made the hotel a success. Carmen knocks on his office door. "Alejandro, is everything all right? I've noticed you've been worried lately." Alejandro looks at her and realizes that in 4 months this woman has become the best friend he's ever had. Someone who genuinely cares about him, not his money or his power. "Carmen, I have to tell you something, and I'm afraid it's going to change everything." He tells her about the pressure from the board, the demanded cuts, that his job is at risk. "I understand," Carmen says calmly, surprisingly. "I knew it would end sooner or later. It's been too good to last." "It's not over," Alejandro says with sudden determination. "I have a proposal for you." Alejandro makes the most important decision of his life. She leaves the family holding company and invests everything in creating a new chain of boutique hotels with Carmen as partner and chief operating officer. "Are you sure?" Carmen asks incredulously when Alejandro explains the plan to her. "Are you risking everything for us?" "I'm not risking anything," Alejandro replies. "I'm finally investing in something that has real value." The first few months are tough. They have to start from scratch, find investors, convince the staff to join them on this new adventure. But Carmen proves to have a natural talent for business, and together they create a hospitality model that puts people at the heart of everything. Lucia and Alba, now 10 years old, have grown up considering Alejandro a special uncle. They help him decorate the new hotels, suggest ideas for making the spaces more welcoming for families, and, above all, teach him what it truly means to belong to someone. 2 years later, the Casa Hotels chain has 5 properties in Spain and a waiting list of investors who want to participate in the project. But the greatest success is the family they have created. Do you remember when you couldn't afford bread? Alejandro asks Carmen one evening as they watch the girls play in the garden of their hotel in Seville. Every day, she replies. And I thank God for that snowy day. Me too, because it taught me that true wealth isn't measured in euros, but in hugs, laughter, and people who accept you for who you are, not for what you own. Lucia runs to them. Mom, Alejandro, look what we've written. The girls hold up a handmade sign. Welcome home. Here we're all family. Alejandro smiles and hugs his 3 women. It's taken him 43 years to understand what it means to be truly rich, and now he wouldn't trade this life for any multi-billion-dollar empire. You know what? He says, looking at Carmen and the girls. I think it's time to make this family official. He gets down on one knee and pulls out a ring. Carmen Lopez, will you marry me? Lucia and Alba? Will you officially become my daughters? Tears of joy, hugs, and shouts of "Seize" fill the garden. And in that moment, under the stars of Seville, for people whom life had tested finally become a complete family. True wealth had never been a matter of money. It had always been a matter of love. And so Carmen, the mother who didn't she could buy bread, saved a millionaire soul, and found true love. If this story has warmed your heart, leave a like if you believe kindness can change the world. Subscribe for stories that celebrate the strength of family love. Share with those who know that true wealth is love. Comment, family is everything. Remember, sometimes miracles begin with an act of generosity. Sparkles. See?